Welcome to our program, We Connect, and it's great to have you join us on this show. Padma Shri Astad Debu is here with us today as our guest, and it really is our honor to have him here. The country's principal choreographer and contemporary dancer has been here in Chennai performing, and those are the details we're going to find out from him in just a bit, so you don't go anywhere. Thank you so much, Astad, for being with us today.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me this morning.
Thanks a lot. Let's start by asking about what brings you to Chennai, and have you enjoyed being here?
What brings me here is a performance of mine which I have created and choreographed with the performers of the Salam Balak Trust, an NGO which looks after the children and young people who have come from varied backgrounds, who have been on the streets, and they've been taken in, and they've been taken in to sort of make their lives better. And one has been involved indirectly with the trust for a number of years, been attending their activities and being there, and there was a constant request that if I would come and work and train some of the kids. And as you know, that in India, getting funds to do a work of this nature, or even as for a matter of dance, it's not easy. So it's quite an interesting story. I'm going to recap a little bit. I've been working with the deaf for a number of years now, and I used to be working with a group in Chennai, the Clark
Yes.
School for the Deaf. And I went to one of the corporates to ask for further funding, and the social corporate responsibility person said, "Oh, we don't do deaf anymore. We're into street children." These were her very lines. So I said, okay, fine. And that's the time then I said, okay, now it's time to start working. So I started working with these young, talented performers from the Salam Balak in 2008. And I created a work called Breaking Boundaries, which we premiered in 2009. And that's the work which I brought to be presented in the South.
Right. Now, do you actually find the talent? How is it easy? I mean, because every single person may not necessarily be of the caliber that you would look for.
Yeah. Well, there is what really was most important when I'm working with non-dancers, that first of all, that there is a thirst, there's a hunger.
Can you find that out? Can you spot that?
Well, the fact that they are there, you know, because I didn't have an audition. I was there, they said, okay, we want to participate. You know, so in October of 2008, 20 of them came, little realizing what they were getting themselves into.
I mean, to be dancing with somebody like
No, well, not
Astad
so
Debu.
much that, but the fact that all that they had was Bollywood dancing in their vocabulary. And for them to be completely deprogrammed and to learn to, first of all, they themselves discovered their bodies during the workshop, during the training. And I also was able to then spot talent because there were people who had two left feet. But the fact that they came, and I didn't want to throw them out and discourage them because that would be a psychologically great impairment. I was looking here, yes, I was looking to bring them to a standard which I would be proud of to present them. So, I mean, anybody who comes to work, and when my work has to be of a certain standard, otherwise, you know, I would not put it on stage.
So I'm tempted. Are you a taskmaster?
And what a taskmaster.
Really? Well, I suppose to get to where you are, you would have to be.
You know, and also it's sort of to tell them, like whether even it was with my deaf performers from Chennai or from Calcutta, I said, you're going to be on stage, and I do not want the audience at any given point to say, oh, you know, it was a mistake because they happen to be deaf, or you know, they came from the streets and they really had no. I said, I do not want that line at all, and you do not want that line yourself. So you are going to be excelling yourself. You've got to achieve to excel, to be up there, and for people to marvel and appreciate you. So that has always been my sort of approach in working with, because most of the people I work with, like even when I'm working in Manipur for the last 15 years, and my present work is with the drummers there, and there again, you know, so they all realize, and in the end when they hear the applause, and when hear people come backstage, or even for the fact that in Manipur, which is a great sort of cultural hub of artists. And the gurus come because, you know, again, I was the enfant terrible
Yes.
for many, for over a
I would
nearly
imagine, yes,
nearly 2 decades.
I can believe that, you know.
And the gurus coming and looking and to see how I'm taking their tradition. I keep the tradition in its purity and how it's sort of integrated with my creativity, and comes another sort of new sort of work.
Right, but Asad, is it not difficult to retain that purity that you're talking about, along with this very contemporary air that you bring to your performances? I mean, how easy is it to do that? Tell me, to the uninitiated, explain that, please.
See, I grew up, I mean, I was trained as a traditional Indian classical dancer.
Kathak and Kathakali, yes.
You know, but people always term me as, oh, he's Western. You know, I'm not Western at all. Even my style, though I've learned and had the opportunity of spending time with some great choreographers in the West, observing and being with them as an apprentice, so absorbing like a sponge, you know, just taking in as much, and what is very necessary, that when you're taking from a different culture, you got to make sure that whatever you take is going to sort of integrate, and it's like, you know, on your television jargon, one would say, a slow fade in to come with another, you
Yes,
know,
right.
visual, which sort of is pleasing. So similarly, when you are taking from another culture movement and blending it with yours, you see that it'll complement you. It's not like an added appendage which looks awkward, and just for the sake of saying that you've studied this and that I should put it, you
Right.
know. So when I'm working with our traditional, and mainly it has been up in Manipur, I started with the Thangta performers, the martial artists, and now with the Pungchalam drummers. So what has excited me is their technique, their style of movement, which I knew that they could be easily assimilated into my work and vice versa.
So when you're talking about assimilating all these different forms, do you ever improvise as you're going along?
Well, yes, we do improvise.
On the stage itself at the last minute or not?
Sometimes, yes,
Really?
because of the fact that, you know, space is also a very integral part, and sometimes we do not have that kind of space given to us. So then there is some sort of adjustments to be done. And what the audience doesn't know, it doesn't hurt. And then, like, yes, improvisation is one of my key sort of things of my creativity.
Right. Asad, I'm going to ask you to hold on for just a very short while.
Sure.
We'll just take a very short break here on WeConnect and get right back with you. So please don't go anywhere.